Good morning. This is Michelle Thompson, your academic and legal coach. And this morning I'm here to give you your weekly writing tip. As many of you know, I was a lawyer and I currently work in academia as a part-time professor, and I coach people. And I know that many of you, sometimes as you write, you get really stuck. And I do these videos as a way of helping people move past problems that they're having with their writing. So here we go. This week, I want to give you a picture behind the curtain of Michelle Thompson, coaching and consulting. And by that, let me start with saying that while I'm doing that, I also do my own academic writing. I actually do quite a bit of it. I have a few projects in the pipeline. And like many of you, I am trying to reach the same goals. I want to be published. I want a book published. I want my articles published, just like you. So I'm actually going through the same processes that you are going to. I actually have an article that was rejected by 2 different journals twice. Not, you get the point. They've been rejected 2 times total by 2 different journals. The second critique was that the article wasn't analytical enough. And I saw that, I thought, what? I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. I was kind of blown away, actually. So what I did before I lost my nerve was I contacted 2 or 3 people I knew who knew about who were either historians or knew something about what I was writing about. And 2 of them were recently up for tenure, so they'd been through this publication pipeline business. And after I asked them to read it and to give me feedback about what wasn't analytical enough, because I just didn't get it. I wasn't there. And after I did that, I sent it out to them and I put it away. I was done. The rejection came in March. Here we are in July. And yeah, it's here we are in July. So in all fairness, the first journal who rejected this article actually asked me to write an article analyzing some sources I had used in the submission. And so I got to work on that after I asked for feedback. I also had a proposal accepted for an academic conference, and I got working on that as well. So it's not like I've been twiddling my thumbs. I have other things going. I was also busy doing some work on my book. But the bottom line was that I wasn't open to, at that point in time, confronting my demons of failure. That's what I'll call them. And you might be thinking that's a strong term, demons of failure, and you might be right. So here's where we actually are going to take a peek behind the curtain of what I'm doing here at Michelle Thompson Coaching and Consulting. Great. As a young person, this is what you have to know about me. As a young person, mistakes, no matter how little, seem to be incredibly high stakes. They're really high stakes problems. At home, I was spanked, like many other young people. And for me, I actually couldn't tell what was a thing that you would get spanked for or what you wouldn't get spanked for, right? So my goal was to make as few mistakes as possible. When I made them, I tried to handle them all by myself. And the bottom line was I was trying to make sure that my mistakes weren't visible at all. So that was me and handling criticism as a young person. At school, I was bullied. Young people tease me mercilessly about the smallest of things. You know, again, the things that probably shouldn't have mattered much, but they matter to a young person. And so, as a result, I just didn't want to be seen at all. I didn't want to be seen at home, because if I was seen at home, that means I must have screwed something up. And if I was seen at school, I was going to get the kind of attention I didn't want. But here's the thing. What I do with you as an academic and legal coach is actually very visible. I'm actually on Facebook Live talking to you right now about writing. Visible. I don't know how many people see this, 50, 100. You know, it's a very visible thing. But the other part of this is that as an academic writer, what I do is also visible. Let me repeat that, because I don't think you guys think about it this way. What we do as academic writers in this community is actually very, very visible. We can't do that hidden away. People read our work. People read your work, right? People give you, or me, feedback. If you're published, people read your work. Here we go again. People read your work. They may not agree, or they may agree or they may disagree with what you're doing, But they read it, even in publication. If my writing is to progress, if your writing is to progress, you can't hide under a rock and hope that the next thing won't have any errors and whatever you submit is just going to be accepted. You won't make progress. And so we're going to make error after error, mistake after mistake, and we may actually get rejection after rejection. That's the nature of the academic writing process. Many of us who ended up in academia were actually very afraid of visibility, and the visibility that came with academic writing. And so it's actually even hard to show our work to the people we're supposed to show our work to, like our advisors or committees and other people like that. That's why we resort to procrastination. That's why we become perfectionists. We think that this will protect us from whatever it is, whatever criticism that we think we're going to get. In my case, I'm trying to protect myself from the things that have already happened. But these protecting myself and protecting yourself from those things actually don't get you published, right? Because that is the goal, to become published. So here's what I'm leaving you with today. Many of us went into academia because we thought we could keep our heads down and not really be noticed. If you're going to achieve things at the highest rungs of academia, it's a very visible industry. And no one actually told us that when we went to graduate school or whatever it was we were doing. But it's a very, very visible industry. We cannot afford not to show our mistakes and our successes. Now that's a writing faux pas. You're not supposed to do double negative. But I'm trying to emphasize something. We have to show our mistakes and our successes. We don't have a choice. They're going to be visible and people are going to see them. I actually think academic writing is so hard because the people who are professors and the other people, our colleagues who are success stories, actually don't talk about the times where they fell on their asses, put bluntly. They don't talk about the screw-ups. And we don't get a picture of the fact that they had to struggle with this stuff too. Here's the thing. We could all stand to know about where we screwed up, how they screwed up, how many times our articles got rejected for them. Rejections, it turns out, are far more common than we think. We can use these opportunities to actually learn. So, for those of you who have submitted your work for academic writing and you've gotten feedback that you didn't like, bravo. Yes, well done for sticking your neck out there. You're going to have to do it again and again and again, and I encourage you to do that. I want that for you. And when you get feedback, remember to go back and figure out what feedback did they give. You may have to take a whole chunk of time before you can suck it up to go and do it. I understand. Rejection can be hard. But what kind of feedback did they give? If they didn't provide any, who can provide you with the feedback that you need, right? That there's an example of like, okay, who do I go to actually make sense of what I'm doing? And then what did you do with that feedback? Did you just stick it under something and hope it goes away? Right now, I'm just starting to get back to that article where I asked 3 people to give me feedback. And I'm starting to incorporate their comments. And they're really good. And this is going to make my article so much better. That's what we get to do. We are good, smart people who receive rejections. That's okay. Many good, smart people receive rejections. Actually, there's a whole company. If you go on TED Talks, there's a whole company set up about failing, right? They're trying to get projects to fail so they can figure out how to make it better, right? That's what we're trying to do. There is no shame in our game if we make mistakes. We don't learn and achieve what we don't want. So the bottom line is this, because I started this about visibility. Go and make mistakes. Let others see these mistakes. We're not going to make, our writing is not going to get where we want to if this doesn't actually happen. This is part of why I run a writing meetup, so we can actually have a place for people to bring their work and get feedback. Be visible. Be seen. You already are, right? If you even get petty feedback, and sometimes you will, it's not going to kill you. It's only going to make you stronger, and the best of feedback is going to move things to the to the best of places for you, and you'll eventually get your work published. The petty stuff won't kill you, actually. You're just going to ignore it and move on. So that's my writing tip for today. Let me give you a few announcements. If you like this page, click the like button, and you'll be able to see what I'm up to. I post my schedule regularly here, so you know what programs I have going for you during the week. And then if you are interested in hearing more from me, you can scroll down to the left side, and there's a email icon. You can click on that to sign up for my academic newsletter. If you're a lawyer, I will go ahead and put a link to that particular newsletter underneath this video. So please sign up for the newsletter so you can hear from me regularly, because that's also a place where I announce programs that I'm rolling out. If you are interested in having a community around writing and actually doing more writing in less time, right? Because that's what we need to do as academics. More writing, less time. I want you to consider the writing retreat that I'm leading on July 29th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's going to be on the NYU campus. And if you go to Eventbrite, it's actually pinned on my page. You can go ahead and register for that. I'd love to have you there. If you register by today is, it's not the ultimate deadline, but if you register by today, I will set up a call with me so you can get super clear and super focused in what you want to tackle on that writing retreat. So go ahead and register for it. On the 26th of July, before the writing retreat, I am going to be hosting a call on how to crowdsource academic conferences. These are such an important part for academic writers to get their work out there, and I don't want you to miss anything because of money. So I'm going to lead something on crowdfunding your conferences. If you want tips on that, you can get it there. If you go to michelledionThompson.com and look under current events, you can register there. You can register on this page under events. You can click on, I think it's funding academic conferences, and the ticket is right there. Finally, the Tribe of Academic Warriors starts Tuesday. It's open. It's a monthly resource. It's more than that. It's more than a monthly resource, but we'll actually be on the phone monthly to provide resource for you and your work in academia, figuring out what it is you want to do, figuring out your writing struggles, whatever it is. We will tackle them there. It's hot here in New York. You can see me sweating the whole time. So just try to stay cool this weekend. If your place is as hot as it is here, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.